Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Extra Time, the U.S. Men's National Team Soccer Podcast. I'm here, joined by my brother Ryan. The World Cup draw has happened, and it's time for everybody's favorite part of the year. We're going to start making our predictions. We're going to start jumping in with all the other different creators and giving our takes and hot takes and dark horses and all those things. We are excited about it. Is this the tournament that the United States makes a deep run? Is this a tournament the United States wins it all? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. It's back on home soil in 2026. Ryan and I are going to discuss all of that on this episode coming up. All right, Ryan, you guys are back safe in New York. How are things going there, man? What's going on?
Snow.
Yeah, lots of snow everywhere, right? Lots of snow everywhere.
Snow, and then I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days, but we're doing better today, so.
Tis the season. Tis the season.
Yes.
So, did you get a chance to watch the draw live?
I did, because unfortunately I was sick the day of the draw, so I was able to watch it live. I mean,
I did not get a chance to watch it live. I was working, so why don't you just take a second, walk us through some of the emotions that you were feeling. You know, how did you feel about it?
But see, that's the thing. Like, I don't think there's much difference in watching it live and then finding out days after, or the afterwards. Because there really isn't. It's like, oh, they pull our name. They go, oh, you're in this group. Okay, cool. We're in Group D. Awesome. And, then they pull the name and they're like, oh, Paraguay, and you're like, okay, we just played them. And they're like, Australia. And it's like, oh, sweet, we just played them too and we beat them. And then they're like, oh, you get a playoff person. So we don't even know who the last person in our group is. So the emotions there were like, oh, okay, it could be, one of four teams.
Mm-hmm. So I think we should start with, like, people's inability to understand a system that sounds really complicated when they talk through it and actually really isn't that complicated. So the easiest way to understand the draw for non-soccer people, right, or people just getting into soccer in the United States, is that there are 5 confederations in the world that all are allowed to qualify teams through the World Cup, right? So if you're a country and you're playing soccer, the way that you make the World Cup,
There's 6.
there should be 5. CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, Oceania, UEFA, AFCON, and, 6. And AFC is 6. Sorry, there's 6. And the only way to make the World Cup is to qualify through one of those confederations, right? So you follow whatever rules FIFA and your confederation have set. Every group is given X number of teams, right? All of that stuff happens before the draw. Those are all games. That's got a whole nother thing that you would understand, but you just win games. The way that the draw works is, well, this is the World Cup. It happens every 4 years, and we want to see who's the best team out of all of these confederations. And we have this amazing luxury to divide the teams up so that you don't play against other people that you just played to qualify. So when they draw the names from the balls, all they do is check to see if there's another team from your confederation already in your group, okay? The asterisk on that is that because UEFA is so big and so many teams qualify, it's actually impossible for them to limit it to just one team. So those groups can get additional people. The presentation of it in slow motion makes it really confusing, especially when the people that were presenting it didn't really understand that, because to the United States' to my dismay or whatever, we had a lot of famous people that weren't soccer people that didn't understand soccer.
Correct.
And so
they're
it's
the face of the U.S.
Correct.
So
some of them made sense and it was nice. I really did feel bad for Wayne Gretzky not being able to pronounce any of the countries' names. That was not a great look. But anyway, so you get them, and then you just go, all right, is there a person in this? The confusing part was they're drawing the groups after they've drawn the team, and it's in that moment that they're like, if this works, we're going to take it. If not, we got to move. And that creates moments of, like, for non-soccer people, like, why are we drawing at all? Like that, because like you drew the ball and then you were like, actually, no, we don't care about that at all. And then actually, we don't care about the next thing at all, because there's actually only one place these people could go, which is kind of like our group. We got into a situation where we didn't have a European qualifier, and so it didn't matter the other teams that were being drawn. They couldn't give us one. We had to have one of the UEFA qualifiers, which is much different than previous World Cups, where we'd already had a Euro team and they were going to give us another one, and so we were playing 2 European teams. So the easiest way to understand it is we take all the teams that qualify, we randomly divide them across all of the groups to give the best possible chance that you don't play against anybody that you would have played in qualifying, so that every group showcases the world. It showcases 4 teams from all around the world that probably don't play each other, or maybe haven't played each other in a long time, to truly try and see who the best team in the world is.
And then the U.S. gets really lucky with, hey, 2 of the friendlies you picked against teams that have already qualified for the World Cup and are looking to see how their roster turns out, we played. Mm-hmm. We've already played them. Paraguay's game was a little, tight. Same with Australia, but, we're still putting a team together. But the fact that 2 of our 3 teams are teams we have already played in friendlies for World Cup warm-up is very, very nice.
Right. I completely agree. I mean, the counter argument to that is these are teams that have already played you, and so they're familiar with you, and so they might be able to make adjustments with that knowledge and be slightly more competitive.
But that being said, we've played them, so we should be able to make adjustments.
We should. And this is obviously all speculation, which is why we're doing it. We want to be part of this, everybody throwing their opinions out and trying to tell you why what they're saying is better than what somebody else is saying. And there is a lot of pressure on the United States, right? We're hosting the World Cup. You're given this draw that seems really, really favorable. Now you got to perform. Now you got to put your money where your mouth is. Now you got to make all these things happen. And I described it as sort of like the best possible and the worst possible scenario. The best possible being we should go 3-0. Right? Now, it doesn't mean that that the Turkey A or and you're familiar with the other teams. I just figured it was going to be Turkey A.
Romania could get out.
That's right. Romania and not Czechia, but like a Slovakia maybe.
Slovakia. Kosovo's the one in there that probably doesn't.
Probably won't. It doesn't mean that one of those teams couldn't put on a performance. We draw against them. We get an unfortunate loss. But compared to all the other previous draws, which we're going to talk about in a second, this is like we should be going 3-0. The flip side to that, though, is if you don't make it out of your group, especially in the current structure, which, again, we're about to talk about, you have been set up for the worst possible performance that a U.S. men's team could put on, period. Right? And so while I'm leaning more optimistically and I'm really positive about this and I'm really excited about this, I think it gives kind of that, that double-edged sword with this.
Yeah.
So,
but there's always going to, especially on home soil, it was always going to be that. Even if we had a tough group, it was still going to be that double-edged sword of you're on home soil, you need to perform well. We could have had, Norway, Uruguay, and then Turkey A.
We could have. We 100% could have. And some of the simulations I drew were that.
Games.
Right.
Yeah, and we could lose all 3 of those games, and people would still be like, well, this is the worst the men have ever done. It's like, no, we had tough teams, right?
Correct.
I know we spanked Uruguay, right, in a friendly. Spanked them. But it's a friendly. Coaches are trying to get ideas. They're trying to see how players perform. We're losing this game. I'm going to make these subs, see how they impact a game coming on while we're losing.
100%.
What if this was, game 3 of the group stage and we needed a draw and we're losing 3-1 in the 65th minute and you get subbed on? How do you perform?
Right.
So it's hard to look at the friendly and go, oh, we spanked Uruguay. We're golden, right? Our team looks great. If we had gotten Uruguay in our group, that's awesome. We know we've got their number. We can spank them. And going on that, it's like you've got probably one of the better draws for our group, right? Like, it's not amazing, but we don't have an African team in our group, which is where the U.S. has really struggled.
Correct. And that makes me, I think that...
Growing up, Ghana was the demon for the U.S. And to finally sit here and be like, oh, like last World Cup we didn't either. We had Iran.
Right.
Qualifies out of the AFC. So that was nice.
AFCON.
So this is now two in a row that we don't have an African nation in there that could play spoiler, because Cote d'Ivoire, they're strong. Egypt is strong, and there's a chance that you draw them, and a draw isn't what you need.
Right.
So.
But the thing that I don't feel like lots of people have given enough attention to, which is why I'm about to give some attention to it, as I fix this cord, is everything that you know about every other World Cup needs to go right out the window, because so much has changed with the new draw system and the new structure that trying to compare what has happened to anything else that has happened, you can't. They don't go together, right?
Correct. We are now the top 8 third-place teams getting out makes everything a lot different. There's more groups,
and there's correct. So break those things down, though. So take a second, break those things down. If you're new to this, if you're just tuning into soccer, what is different between this World Cup and previous World Cups?
So previous is 8 groups of 4, 32 teams. Top 2 in each group advance, period. You could finish third in your group with 6 points. There could be a team in another group that has 3 points. They will get out. You will not. Right? It sucks. It has happened. But that's just the way it is, because that's how it's set up. Just like you said, they want to see the world play each other. So it's broken into those. We have different federations playing each other. Sorry, the federation teams you got are harder than this person's. Oops. So this year, for this one, there are 48 teams, which means, if you split that in half, you don't get a nice even number to keep splitting.
We have 4 additional groups of 4 teams. 16 more teams have been able to qualify for this World Cup.
But breaking that, taking the top 2 of each group gives you 24, then 12, then 6, then 3, which you can't do. So they were like, okay, we have to get that sweet spot number. So how do they do that? They go, well, 32 works. So what if we just take 32? So then they go, okay, so if we take 24, the 2 best in each group, we need 8 more. How do we determine which 8? You just go the next 8 best teams, right? What does the next 8 best mean? It literally just means who finishes with the most points. And then there's going to be a lot with the same points.
Are you expecting there to be controversy around the tiebreakers with teams towards that bottom spot if, for instance, 6 through 10 all have 3 points, and they go, they're obviously probably going to go goals for, or goal differential, right? It'll go goal differential, and then, maybe goals for, and then goals against, things like that. What are you expecting to see in that? I would be expecting to see some controversy. Like, I mean, it's the first time we've done this. I would have a hard time believing it's going to be a clean cut. I have very little belief that we're going to get there, and it's going to be like there's 8 teams with 4 points, and the 9th team had 3. We are just clean cutting these guys. Like, that would be the dream scenario, obviously, and then you have to figure out where they go and place them. But at least they've already done that. At least they've already said the 3rd place for this group will play here. They didn't say the 5th of 8 will play this team, and the 3rd of 8 will play this team. They just went group by group and said, these groups, the 3rd place team, you're going to be in.
Yeah, and the problem, we'll probably see it. We'll probably have a team miss out on fair play points. Right?
And that's yellow cards and red cards, right?
Yes, yellow cards, red cards. So indirect red cards is so it's done like a yellow card is minus, I want to say 1. Indirect red cards, which are 2 yellow cards. This could all be wrong.
Right. But you're giving us an idea.
indirect red cards, which are if you get 2 yellow cards in the same match, is -3. Direct red cards are 4 points, and then they just basically go whoever has the lower number
Right.
goes through because
Right.
you played fairer.
Correct. So the first thing that I noticed, obviously, when you saw that, right, and people, this was before the draw, and people were thinking about different things, and I'm brainstorming to myself. When you know that 3 teams could potentially get out of the group, the draw feels different because you're really just going, as long as one of these teams I feel like we can beat, there's a really good chance that you're getting out of the group, and so you lose a lot of that, like, the tension and the angst and that, like, anxiety over the group, which was one of the more fun parts of this, right, is the draw of going, it's 8 groups, it's 4 teams, who's going to have the hardest group. I don't think that there's group of deaths right now. You and I talked about this a little bit. We're talking about it now. And I think that
teams can draw out.
Correct.
If you used to not be able to, it would be tough.
And now
Like,
groups of death look different.
Look at the U.S. last World Cup 4 years ago. We had 2 draws in our first 2 games. If we drew against Iran, we were eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We had to beat them, which we did. But this coming around, if we draw all 3 of our games, we still, I would say there's like a 70% chance you make it out of your group.
Correct.
You make it out of group stage with 3 draws.
Right, which isn't something that you were going to be able to do before. It was like,
Correct.
3 points, 3 points ain't going to get there. Like you're gonna go home. Like you have to see a win.
Unless everybody in your group drew every game.
Right, and then it just gets into stupid corner kick nonsense.
No, it goes to yellow. It goes to fair play.
No, right, but it could go as deep as corner kicks depending on how those games went.
And it could go to a coin flip.
It could. And so the way that I looked at it, a lot of people are going, who do you think got the hardest group? Who do you think got the hardest group? They're looking at it as, first going, okay, which groups are like the closest together? FIFA ranking wise, right? We know England's group is going to be really hard. And then I think there was another
France's group is not easy.
France's group isn't easy either. But if you were looking at groups of like, who do I think it's going to be the hardest to get out of? I don't necessarily know that. Like, I think their 4th team, like their bottom team, stands no chance. But when you have 3 teams that are really, really close, like if you get a draw and you beat your 4th team, you're probably going out. So I was trying to identify groups where it wasn't clear cut who the worst team was, that they were kind of all pretty even, or at least your bottom 3 were pretty even, and so you don't know who's going to get third.
You also have to think that if the groups are close and everyone draws, how does that affect the 3rd place team? Because if let's say by some weird happenstance, when Senegal plays Norway, they draw. When Senegal plays France, they draw. And when Senegal plays the qualifier, the playoff position, they win.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say Norway does the same thing. And let's say France does the same thing. So they all tie each other but beat that 4th team. And they all beat the 4th team 1-0. Let's just hypothetically saying.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got all those 3 teams all have 4 points. Now, granted, they probably do all get out with 4 points, but who wins the group, right? You could in theory have a Senegal winning a group.
Correct. Well, I see what you're saying. You're saying you're putting all this stress on having to win a tiebreaker to be the 3rd place team. And I look at like groups that I think are difficult.
Bottom of the group, the 3rd place winners play in theory the harder teams.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a France and you say lose on the fair play tiebreaker and you finish 2nd in your group, right? Instead of playing, a World Cup bracky, I like that. Like instead of playing, I don't know who France would play if they win their group. You've got it on your.
I do. I was just trying to pull the groups up so that we could look at that.
Yeah, hang on. I got your picture right here. You have France playing Sweden in their first game after group stage, right? So now let's say Norway wins that group and France doesn't, Norway goes, well, Norway is playing to Germany. So then you run into France plays Germany in the first round.
Right.
Right? That's a lot harder than France plays Sweden.
Right.
Right? Like, Sweden isn't a group leader. And that's Sweden if they qualify in. Right?
Right.
Like, it might not even be Sweden. It could be like Ukraine.
Right. So these are the groups though. So we have the groups up, right? Like these are the groups. And so when we'll go through them because these are the ones that were drawn, right? So we have A through L for people who weren't paying attention, right? This gives you a chance to see them. And you're going to notice that you're going to see winners of playoff games, right? These games are going to take place in March. Okay?
Yes.
So there's a lot, there's a couple games that have to happen. Some of them have 3 teams where one of them is already in the final. The other 2 are going to play.
The blue ones on there, the ones that say FIFA in blue, are the Euro ones. The ones that have FIFA written in white.
Those are the intercontinental ones.
Yes.
Perfect. So you're going to see for Group A.
The ones only have 2 teams or 3 teams. The other ones have 4.
Correct. So we have Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and then they have a European playoff, right?
Yep.
Then we have Canada. They have another European playoff. Canada does. And then they have Qatar and Switzerland. See, Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. Then we have our group, Group D, the United States, Paraguay, Australia, and then a UEFA qualifier.
Yep, and I can give you these, so hang on.
So we can. Let's do this, and then I'll go to you, and I'll tell you, you can read us who the teams are. One of the other differences to this is that FIFA has set the bracket up so that the top ranked teams, if they win their groups, will be on the opposite sides of the bracket and will not face each other until the semis. So similar to the March Madness bracket, if you're a basketball person, where you see the 4 ones kind of all at the top, you're going to see France, Argentina, Brazil, and Spain, and England, like they're all kind of scattered, so that when they hit their groups and they come out, they're going to be all over. The same thing happened with the United States and Mexico and Canada. A and B are on the left side of the bracket, or right side, depending on how you see it. C and D are on the other side of the bracket.
Yes.
Right? Or like D and E or something like that. Because we wouldn't see Brazil. So it's like A, B, C, and then D, E, F, and so forth. So we won't. We really couldn't unless there was like some kind of fluke. So let's now go back. So we'll go with group by group. Ryan, who is the potential playoffs for Group A?
So Group A, the potential playoffs, the first games are Czechia and Ireland, and then Denmark and North Macedonia.
Okay. And then
games.
Group B.
The winners of those would play each other.
Yep.
Group B is Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Okay. And then in our group, who do we got for C?
Ours is Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo.
All right. We'll go to Group E. Group E is Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast. So if you've heard of the Ivory Coast, that's Cote d'Ivoire.
Yep.
Ecuador. Going to Group F, the Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia, and the winner of?
Ukraine plays Sweden, and then Poland plays Albania.
Okay. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, a Republic of Iran, New Zealand. Group H is Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Group I, France, Senegal, Norway, and
the winner of so for these, there is a team that is already through. So there'll be 2 teams that play, and then the winner plays another team.
Okay.
So for this, we have New Caledonia. Is it New Caledonia? Is this
I
number
believe
2?
I think it's New Caledonia, yeah.
So this is Bolivia and Suriname play, and then the winner faces Iraq.
Iraq, okay. Group J, we see Argentina, Algeria, Austria, a lot of A's, and then Jordan.
Yeah, the A's.
Group K, Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia, and
And this one is New Caledonia plays Jamaica, and then the winner of that plays the Congo Democratic Republic.
And then the final group is England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Those are the groups.
That's another group. Group L, in my opinion, is the group that could have teams fighting for that third place spot.
Yes. So just looking at this on a glance, if I was going to pick some of the hardest groups that I see on here, I agree with you. I think Group L, just from a FIFA stance, I think that's like been unanimous, right? People just looked at it. They looked at the quality of teams, our memory of Ghana. We looked at the FIFA rankings, and we were like, that group's going to be tough.
Because Panama has a chance to shock people of, hey, we drew Ghana or Croatia. I don't think they can draw England, but it's the World Cup. Anything is possible. You know, England could have a really bad game. Or
correct. We saw Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in an opener.
If England plays Panama last, it's like, oh, we've already beaten Croatia and Ghana. We've got our 6 points. We know we're through. Let's rest guys.
Mm-hmm.
Panama could beat them.
Correct.
It's possible. Right? And that's because that's another thing. If you know you've won your group after 2 games, that third game becomes a do we play it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the U.S., if we beat Paraguay, who we play first, we beat Australia, who we play second, do we play guys in that third game? Does winning our group really help us in a who do we play next, right? Based on the other groups, right? Like if we finish second, do we play somebody we think we have a better shot against? And I think there's going to be a lot more of that this year instead of just let's win our group. Let's guarantee we win our group, get out, win the group, get all 9 points. Because with so many more teams, that first round could turn into something like, whoa, France didn't win their group. We'll play France if we win our group. Do we really want to win our group, or would we rather play like Iraq, who's...
Oh, I think there's going to be a lot more jostling and a lot more people looking at that final game and trying to figure it out. So what we can say about that from a tournament structure stance is, every day there's just kind of games all day, and the United States is going to play Friday, Thursday. So we're going to have a week between each of our matches, and then we're going to have 6 days. The final day of games for every group is played at the same time. This prevents those teams from fixing matches or results based on previous information. It would give an advantage, potentially, to a team who played later in the day if they saw a result. So just like Ryan had just said, if the United States was to watch the previous game and realize that the result didn't affect them, they could take all their starters off the field. They could play their entire bench squad. They could essentially throw the game in order to rest players because it doesn't affect them. I do think that with third-place teams going, with there being so much money and reputation on the line, that especially these later groups, right, the I's, the J's, the K's, the Group L, they're going to have done the math. They're going to know pretty well off who it's likely all the paths are going to be. And so I do think we're going to see some of that jostling, and we might see some weird results with teams going, like, do I want to play the third-place team? Or, like, if in a Group G, for example, there's some kind of weird upset where Belgium's not going to win their group, am I more enticed to, like, try to be the runner-up so that I'm playing, you know, maybe the Egypt or the Iran that snuck through and won that group like that?
New Zealand.
Right, even in New Zealand. Let's go to another group. What other group do you want to talk about? So I picked Group L. What's another group up here that you think is going to be tough?
I, hands down, in my opinion, I is the one where if Iraq gets through, because Iraq is not bad. I mean, they're not fantastic, but they're not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I could see anyone winning that group with just because something happens, right? France is great. Yes, do not get me wrong. France is phenomenal. But there's a chance that France loses to Norway, right? And then if Senegal beats Norway, but Norway beats the other team,
and France struggles against Senegal. They were talking about it on shows.
And then everyone finishes with 6 points. Who wins the group? Right? And then it comes down to who scored more goals. And if we're going on that thing, I would say Norway's going to score the most goals because Erling Haaland exists.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And all that man does is score goals.
Correct. I would
then
think
all
then,
of a sudden France isn't the winner of Group I.
right, and it could be Norway winning the group with France in second, or France on a tiebreak with Senegal, something like that.
And then it is that, oh, you came in second, you play the winner of Group E. The
Right.
winner of Group E is most likely Germany.
Correct. But it could be Ecuador. Ecuador could win that group. I think if you're looking at the rest of the groups, I think Group A, not because of necessarily the power of the teams, but I think the most interesting groups are the groups that are so close together. And I think that, yes, Mexico is ranked really high. They're one spot behind us. Mexico's in a slump. They're not performing well. And all of the stats that the media is saying, okay, and so this is obviously why we started doing this podcast, at least for me, just to kind of push back against a lot of these narratives that the media is pitching. The media is only saying, Mexico hasn't won a game since they beat the United States in the Gold Cup. It's important for us to note that they beat the United States' C team. They did not beat our starters because we had all the controversy around the Gold Cup. So honestly, the slump for Mexico extends at least 6 years. Coming out of that World Cup qualifying for before, they really fell off once they came out of that World Cup, and in this entire cycle, they've struggled. They had already gone through coach turnover, right? South Africa is a quality team. We've seen them surprise in previous World Cups, especially as a host nation. Korea Republic is a good team, and then anybody coming out of that UEFA group is going to be favored. Right, I think if you're thinking like it's like a Poland or a Denmark or whatever, they might not be favored to win the group, but they're certainly going to be favored to have a chance, right? Especially if you're a betting person, you look at sports books. So I think Group A is super tight. And then the last group that I want to talk about, right, because we've talked about L, I, and E, is Group C. Yes, I think Haiti's in trouble. They're going to play with heart. They're going to play with passion. There's a lot going on in their country. They might sneak results. They might sneak a draw against Morocco. They might sneak a draw against Scotland. I don't see them winning. I see them showing up. I agree with you. If they get a goal, it will be a big deal. I think Scotland handles them, Morocco handles them, and Brazil handles them. But that puts all those teams in a spot where the winner
Brazil's team handles Haiti.
Correct. The winner of that group and the runner-up of that group and third place are all a toss-up. I would not be shocked if that group ended and Brazil was fighting for the third place spot. And I don't mean fighting as in they're not going to make it because Haiti's there. I mean there's a chance that they're going to not be the runner-up because they're going to get knocked into the third place spot and have to play the winner of another team, right? So those are the groups that I have. Are there any other groups and things that you want to talk about before we make our picks and we talk about what everybody came here for?
No, I think what I do like about this World Cup is it feels to me like the groups are either really, really close or really, really far apart. There is no like middle ground, in my opinion. Like you look at oh, okay, Germany, great team, but then it's like the other three aren't really that close to them. But then Group I is like everybody's really compact, FIFA rank wise.
Right.
And like same with the U.S. group. Like Paraguay and Australia are pretty close, similar in FIFA rank. And I'm sure Turkey A or Kosovo, Romania, whoever gets through is kind of in there too. But it's like, but then you have Spain and then you have Cabo Verde. Like, whoa, they're not close.
Right. They're not close.
And so it's one of those where it's like, same with Group J. Argentina, good. Austria's decent. And then the other two, But just like we saw every year, teams surprise us. Morocco came out of nowhere 4 years ago, made it to the semis. Saudi Arabia was able to beat Argentina the first game. So there isn't like this is how it's going to go. It's
Correct.
the World Cup. It's great. Any team could beat any of them on any given day, but.
And we've had multiple World Cups where the team that's won the World Cup lost their opener. Spain won the World Cup after losing their opener to Switzerland. Argentina won the World Cup after losing their opener to Saudi Arabia. Ironically, both of those games being 2-1. So the group stage is.
The U.S. needs to lose 2-1 to Paraguay.
It put us in that boat. No, we do not need to do any of those things. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Okay, so the thing that made this difficult, okay, and I'll show you my bracket. I will pull it up and turn it around, and then we'll walk you through it. Is the third place teams. It is, if you're going to do this on paper and you're just going to try to write it out, it's not going to work because of how crazy it is. Okay, so I did this. This is what my group looks like. I can't even back it up enough, right? This is what it is. We're going to walk through this. I'm going to show you the site that I used and the simulator that I used, and we'll kind of go through it. We will talk about my winner, my loser, all of those different things. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to check real quick to make sure it's all in frame. It is. Everything is looking good. So the way that I used this was instead of inputting all the scores, I just clicked on the teams that I thought were going to win. Okay? And I genuinely can't remember what some of these results that I picked. And so if I get them horribly wrong, I'll get them horribly wrong. But we're going to do this right now. We will do this. It might look a little bit different. So, Ryan, New Mexico plays South Africa. What are we thinking?
Draw.
Okay, that's what I had to. Korea Republic versus First. Who do we think this is? When I did it, I had the Danes. I believe I have Denmark in that group.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably who gets out of that. Looking at that, and for that, I would say Korea Republic wins that game. Like maybe a 1-0, maybe 2-1.
Well, I'm just clicking it, and it'll do whatever it does. Denmark, South Africa.
You're skipping match day 1 other games?
Oh, my goodness, fine. Canada, and let's see, who did I have coming out of this? Italy.
Oh, Italy.
Okay, Qatar, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Okay, that's what I had as well. Go to match day 2. We got Denmark, South Africa.
Denmark.
Mexico, Korea Republic.
Jesus, 4-0?
Look, it just randomizes it, okay? This is what makes it hard. We might not be able to...
Holy crap.
And it tracks your third-place teams off here.
I think Korea Republic beats Mexico.
Same, so do I. Switzerland, Italy.
Draw.
Canada, Qatar.
See,
I think
says Canada, but there's a no, 4-1 it ain't. Maybe 2-1, but
yeah,
see,
let's go
I can
2-1.
see that being a draw.
Let's like make these maybe more believable.
You don't think? I think 3-1 is believable there.
Okay, we'll keep it.
Because I think Mexico, as much as they drew them in a friendly, I think they're going to struggle there. Yep, and then Korea. Yep. Switzerland, yep, and then
Italy's
putting up 3. I don't think Canada scores against Switzerland. I think they lose that game like 1-0, 2-0.
All right. There we go. It moves some things around. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Group C. We're gonna go Group C and Group D. Brazil, Morocco.
Oof. I mean, the way Brazil has played recently. I would say that's a draw or Morocco wins.
That's what I had. I had it as a draw. Scotland, Haiti.
Yes. Okay, we know the answer to that.
United States, Paraguay.
U.S.
And then Turkey, Australia. I have Turkey coming out of this. Could be Romania, but
I think Romania gets out of that group.
Okay, so
are we doing this with me or you?
We can do it with you. We can pick Romania.
Okay, so if I have Romania getting out, I think that game's a draw.
Okay. Ooh. All right, Scotland, Morocco.
Morocco.
Brazil, Haiti. Brazil. Yep. Paraguay, Romania.
Up that Brazil to like 5.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a nightmare for Haiti. It could be worse.
Yeah. So then Romania, Paraguay, I think is a draw.
USA, Australia.
Or the U.S. And the best part is I could see 3-0, so I don't want to change it.
It's not trying to do anything crazy. Like, it is trying to simulate like what it believes it could be, which sometimes it's a stretch. But okay, Scotland, Brazil.
Brazil.
Morocco, Haiti.
Morocco. Take that goal away from Haiti.
Oh, come on. They get one.
All right, that's right. This will be the one they get.
They get one. All right, so Romania, United States.
So based on the so scroll up a little bit so I can see it. So I've got Australia tying, right? And then I've got Paraguay tying that nation. So
currently we can't get knocked out of winning our group no matter what happens.
Exactly. So this is why I think that last game.
Like, do we draw? Do we wind up drawing? You know what I mean?
It's a draw. I think a 0-0 is right.
Yep.
Because we play a bunch of guys, and Romania plays their solid team.
Yep. So it would look like this. It would look like the United States was 7, Brazil was 7. Yep. But so this is what we're getting at. Now you see Brazil and Morocco that are all tied up, and goal differential could be it. Because when I did this, just because this is on mine, I had Morocco winning this group. for that exact reason. It's not because I thought Morocco was going to beat Brazil. It's because I thought they were going to draw and Morocco was going to have better results against some of the other teams, and Morocco was going to sneak out with a win.
And they might.
Same thing here when you start to look at it, right? You see 2 teams tied with 7 points. You see a 9-6 right here. But look at this. Mexico with just 1 point potentially, right?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen to them.
But they could get 2. They could get 2 draws. So Mexico could wind up with 2 draws. That's still just 2 points. Is 2 points going to be enough to get you out? Canada with 3 is 3 points with a goal differential going to be enough to get out, right?
I think 3 with the goal differential is where we're going to see those.
Because look, we see this. We see, okay, so now we got the Romania-Turkey with 3. We got Scotland again with a 3. So, like, this is where it's going to get interesting when it comes down to those breakers. And I don't know if it's showing on the stream, but can you see this over here? This is currently giving you live which teams are going to get placed based on it, what their points are, the goal differential, and goals for, with the top 8 advancing. So here we go. Germany, Curacao. This could be ugly.
Click that, remove the number from there, and put the highest number you reasonably think could go there. All right. Oh, it's going to be another Germany-Brazil?
I think Germany's going to put at least 8. I mean, they could get 11. Honestly,
and I think Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuador tie.
See, I would have. So in this one, I had Ecuador winning. I think like 2-0. But let's do yours. Let's go with a draw. Netherlands, Japan.
Netherlands.
I think so too. I think that Cody Gakpo and Duvry, I just think they run away with it.
And I don't think they run away with it. I think they beat them by 1. So a 1-0 is fine. And then who's in here with Tunisia? Who's the other team?
The team that I had with Tunisia, where are they at? I picked Sweden. This was a tough one. This is going to be a lot of all these teams are close. I think it was like Sweden,
this could be
Poland,
Ukraine.
Yes.
Right. This is the one with Ukraine. So it's
Ukraine's
Ukraine,
good.
Poland.
Ukraine's good.
So is Poland. I think it's Sweden, Poland in that final game. And
Same.
You know what? Just to be different, I'll go Poland.
Okay. Oof.
So I'll say Poland, and not 4. 2-0 seems fine.
2-1. Let's give Tunisia a goal. Say it's close. Yeah. Tunisia gets a goal on the board. Ecuador, Curacao is Ecuador, but how much? 3-0. We'll take it.
4-3. Yeah.
All right. Germany, Ivory Coast.
Germany wins maybe 3-1.
Okay. 3-1 it is. Now we got Tunisia. Whoa. Tunisia, Japan. It's tough. It's tricky. Remember, both of these teams are going to be in a position where they need a win.
My gut is telling me draw, like a 1-1 or a 2-2.
Yep. Netherlands, Poland.
Netherlands by 1, but not 4-3. Let's make it 3-1 or 3-2.
Okay.
I don't think they win 4-3.
I don't think they win 4-3 either. I think it's going to be 3-2. All right. Ecuador, Germany. The table looks like this at this point.
So they need a win to secure top of the table or a draw.
Yep.
So my guess is they get the win. So my guess is Germany is going to win that game. It might be 2-1. It's not going to be 4-3. It's not going to be 4-3.
I think we got to take it. We got to give it to them. All right, Tunisia, Netherlands.
Oh, we're not. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for just knowing that.
Yeah,
that was
Curaçao's not getting a goal this tournament.
My guess is it's going to be like 3-0.
It probably will be. Let's give them 3. All right, Tunisia, Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Yep, and then what are we thinking about?
Jesus Christ, 4-3. This game really wants there to be.
It wants there to be a lot of goals, man. It wants there to be a lot of goals. I think maybe 4-1.
I would say like 3-1 or 2-0, but.
All right, and then Japan, and then you had Poland.
Japan, Poland. I think Poland wins that. Sure.
You okay with 4-2? All right. So now we see here we go. So now we see the Ivory Coast with a 4. So this goes back to the group that we were talking about of just how tight Germany's group might be and being able to produce a team that's going to come out, right?
Because if Germany loses that game against Ecuador or draws it,
they're the only 4-point team that we have so far. Everybody else at 3s, and we even have some teams with 1, which obviously we have a lot of groups left. Right? I think we're about halfway through this bracket, so we're going to see. All right, another interesting group, Belgium and Egypt.
I think Belgium wins 2-1. I think it's going to be
Iran and New Zealand.
Draw. Perfect. 1-1.
Spain, Cabo Verde. All right, what's the highest you think this is reasonably going to go?
No, Spain only wins 1-0.
There's no chance. You're a psychopath if you're going to put this down.
I'll give them 5.
Okay, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay.
Man, dude. My gut wants to go Uruguay, but after what I saw happen to them against us and what Saudi Arabia has done in the World Cup.
Right. Is it a draw?
I'll take Uruguay 2-1.
Okay.
I wish it could hear me say that and it put 2-1 in there.
Right. All right, New Zealand, Egypt.
Egypt.
Belgium, Iran.
Belgium.
Uruguay, Cabo Verde.
Uruguay.
Sure. Spain, Saudi Arabia.
Spain.
New Zealand, Belgium.
What's the brackets look like? So even if Belgium loses, they most likely don't lose the group. Right? No matter what.
Right.
Because Egypt would have to beat Iran by how much? 3?
I think so.
So I still think Belgium wins, but I think it's more like a 1-0 because Belgium's not really there. And then I think Egypt and Iran tie.
Okay. And then Uruguay, Spain.
Those are both teams with 6 points.
But this game matters. But Uruguay's going to need the result.
Well, they don't need the result. Both teams are through.
So we see a draw here.
I don't know. That's tough because it's going to matter how badly do you want to win your group. Oh, wow. 2 goals for Cabo Verde?
Yeah, no. Let's go 2-0.
I don't think Saudi Arabia scores 4. I'm going to say Spain wins 1-0. 2-1's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
It's the same thing. All right, so now we're going to go down here. France, Senegal.
When you got to see, man. Oh God, I would love for Senegal to.
And I think we picked Iraq on this one.
Yes, we both picked Iraq. I unfortunately don't see Jamaica.
No, neither do I.
I could see Jamaica beating New Caledonia.
Yes.
Right? It's very possible. I do not see Jamaica beating
Iraq. They could. I mean, they could.
No, Iraq doesn't. This is the wrong. It's Bolivia, Suriname.
Oh, so this is being. It's either Bolivia or Iraq.
It's either Bolivia or Iraq, and it could be either of those. My gut says Iraq, so I'll take Iraq.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Bolivia's
France,
tough.
Senegal. I think France wins 3-1. And then Norway just 3-0.
All right, Argentina, Algeria.
I know nothing if Algeria is any good, but Argentina, I would assume would win. Same with Austria over Jordan.
Jordan, Algeria.
We're just skipping.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up.
Let's go Algeria.
Okay, what about Argentina, Austria?
Argentina by 1.
Okay,
Perfect.
It's listening to you. Bolivia / Iraq, Senegal.
Senegal.
Okay, France, Norway.
Draw.
I was gonna say
1-1 draw. Or 2-2 words.
I was gonna say that was your chance for your hot take, for you to go Norway.
Norway 3-2, Erling Haaland hat trick. Put it in right now. Done. There's it. There it is.
Okay, he's got it. And then we got qualifier France, which is France
needs the
and then Norway, Senegal.
Norway.
Okay.
Perfect.
Jordan, Argentina. Austria, Algeria.
Yep, Austria. Yep, perfect.
All right, so how do those groups shape up? See, so we got Norway, we think, topping this group.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. I think I also had Norway topping the group, but I think I had it on, tie breaks. Because I think I had Norway, stretching a draw with France. But I do love this. I do love this for an upset because this is very possible.
And Mexico's gone. They're
Yes.
not top 8 anymore.
Correct. And so now you're going to start to see people dropping off, right? So Mexico not making it, Japan not making it. Now, I don't know what I picked in my group because Mexico came through as one of the third place teams in my group. So we'll see. But so we'll see because I don't know, maybe Ivory Coast didn't. I don't think Ivory Coast did. But we'll see. I can't really remember how it works. It's not going to affect too much. Colombia, Portugal, and then this one was brutal. Who was Portugal's international qualifier? I had Congo. I had Congo going through.
I want Jamaica so bad, so I'm gonna take Jamaica.
All right, Portugal, Jamaica.
And I think Portugal beats them 3-0.
Okay. Uzbekistan, Colombia.
I think Colombia wins 2-1. Oh, solid 4-0. I can see it.
Okay. England, Croatia.
Tie.
Ghana, Panama.
Ghana by 1.
Colombia and Jamaica.
Jamaica loses.
Okay.
Perfect.
Portugal, Uzbekistan.
Portugal.
Panama, Croatia.
Yeah, Croatia.
England, Ghana.
England. Whoa.
Oh, gosh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Let's go 3-1. Let's go 3-1.
All right. This is our last group, too, so we're going to say, oh, my gosh, we're pushing Canada out. Can't look at Canada holding on for dear life. Colombia, Portugal.
What's the brackets look like?
Colombia needs the win. So does Uzbekistan.
Well, no, it's Colombia, Portugal is the game.
I know, yeah.
So I would say Portugal by 1.
Okay.
Or 3.
Or 3. And then Uzbekistan, Jamaica.
Uzbekistan by 1.
Okay.
Or 3.
And then Panama, England.
England. And then I think Croatia.
There's no chance.
I think that's like
30
to 4. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got a record. Croatia, Ghana.
Croatia by 2.
Okay. Ooh, knew it. All right. So this is what it's going to do, and it's going to give you Canada as the base. So it's got Ivory Coast, a qualifier. So I can't remember which group we picked a qualifier to be third in.
Group D. Who's in Group D?
Oh, so that's our Romania, Turkey person.
Yeah, so that's us. So
we really had them in third?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, we had Paraguay in second.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
I did.
Yeah, that's true. You did. All right, so now we go to the knockout bracket. And the way that this does this is as both pathways. So we'll start on our side, and then we'll go, actually, you know what? Are we on this side? Nope, we'll do the other side first. We're going to save some drama. So right here we have Brazil versus the UEFA qualifier 2. This is where it gets weird because I had to flip back and forth. I can't remember who that was.
I know who it is because I've got it up on mine. So World Cup qualifier 2, it's UEFA qualifier 2.
Yep.
Is I had Poland. So it's Brazil, Poland, so Brazil.
Okay, so we got Brazil winning that game. The scores do not matter now. Ecuador, France.
France.
Korea and Cote d'Ivoire.
Korea.
England, Uzbekistan.
England.
Argentina, Uruguay.
Oh, my God.
So this is a result that came up on mine as well.
I would say Argentina just because I can't see
Paraguay, Egypt.
Egypt.
You qualify 1, Senegal.
Italy, Senegal. I'm going to take Senegal.
Oh, gosh. Portugal, Ghana.
Yeah, 2-0. Perfect. Portugal, Ghana. Didn't they already play each other? No, it wasn't, but they did in that 1 year. Yeah, take Portugal. And the scores don't matter, you said.
Back to the top, Brazil, France in the round of 16. Not even a quarterfinal. The round of 16. Does Brazil manage to figure it out and pull it together, or do their World Cup woes continue with them just falling apart in knockout rounds?
I think Brazil beats France.
You think Brazil beats France? Okay, he's got Brazil over France. Korea and England.
Dude, as much as I would love to see England lose to Korea here, I don't see it happening. So
There's no chance. No chance. All right, Argentina, Egypt feels like a lock.
Argentina, yep.
And then Senegal, Portugal also feels like a lock.
Yep, Senegal.
All right, Brazil, England.
Whoa. Scroll back down. You didn't pick Senegal. Pick Senegal. Thank you.
There's no chance, but okay. Just.
No, this is what's going to happen. Ready? Portugal is going to try to play through Cristiano Ronaldo, who is too old, and the team does not work around him anymore. And they are going to lose. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to elbow a man and get a red card.
And that's going to be it.
And then Senegal is going to win on the back
Right.
of Sadio Mane.
You can have whatever spicy hot take you have. I'll walk through my bracket in a second.
England.
Okay. And then Argentina, Senegal.
Argentina.
Okay, I was gonna say you have Senegal in a quarterfinals, which is just psychotic. All right, England, Argentina.
Argentina.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to the other side of the bracket. We're gonna go to our side of the bracket. Germany, Scotland.
Germany.
Norway, and then whoever this is.
It was Turkey. So Norway. That was. Oh, who did I pick for this one? Denmark. Denmark, Switzerland. Ooh.
The pluses.
Denmark is kind of a plus, but not really.
You have a red flag with a white cross and a white flag with a red cross, right? Or another red flag with a white cross? They're both red with white.
But one is a plus.
One's got a bigger cross.
I'm going to take Denmark.
Okay, Netherlands, Morocco. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, holy shit. I think that goes to PKs, and I'm going to take Morocco in PKs.
Okay, Colombia, Croatia. Another good game.
PKs. Yeah, 3-0 PKs.
Yeah. That's how PKs work. They just won 3-0 in PKs. Big saves from their keep.
Croatia.
Spain, Austria.
Spain.
Okay. This is not a result that I had popping up on my thing.
U.S., Canada?
Yeah, based on however it did this, we have the United States and Canada. When I did mine, so some of the differences is that mine was the United States playing Algeria. And I think a lot of people who did the randomizations had us playing a runner-up or third-place person in Group J, I think, is where that team is coming out of should we win our group. And so I had the United States playing Algeria and beating Algeria. United States plays Canada.
U.S.
Okay. Belgium, Saudi Arabia.
Belgium.
Okay. Now we got Germany, Norway. A chance for Norway to be the dark horse, to be a spoiler. Can they get it done against Germany? Okay, they don't get it done against Germany. Germany sees their way through that match. We have Morocco. Denmark, Morocco. That one's pretty straightforward. Croatia, Spain. Another great game.
Oh, my God. I'm going to take Spain just because they're more consistent.
Okay, now we have the United States against Belgium.
I'm going to take the U.S.
Okay, I also took the U.S. So this is a result that I think everybody has, unless Belgium does something wild in their group. Either way, it's not going to matter too much because as long as you believe the United States can beat this third-place team, provided we win our group, and you believe that the United States could at least beat Belgium. If you believe we can beat Belgium, you believe we could beat whatever team is coming out of that group winning it. This is the match that all Americans are going to be looking forward to. Obviously, it's the World Cup. We need to take it one game at a time. Every game matters. Every game is going to be exciting and eventful. This game is the pivotal point. The United States in the quarterfinals with the United States playing Spain. I think that's the game everybody's predicting. That's the game I'm looking forward to the most. Germany, Morocco.
Germany.
Okay. Germany is back, Ryan says. Germany is back at the World Cup. They're back. They're coming for one. The Spain plays the United States.
U.S.
Okay.
1-0.
Ryan takes the U.S. with a 1 goal. Now, this is the moment where I had the United States falling. So I had the United States making it to the quarterfinals. I had the United States losing to Spain. Now, does that mean that I don't think the United States could win that game? No. I looked at this as if you handed me like $1 million and said you have to place a bet. You're forced to place a bet, gun to your head. Who are you putting the money on, Spain or United States? I'm putting the money on Spain. Okay, so now, Germany, United States. If we can beat Spain, we can beat anybody, right?
Yeah.
United
USA.
States over Germany. Does Argentina repeat, or does the United States take down Argentina on home soil?
USA.
That's what I'm thinking.
I want it.
United States.
2-0. And then third place is Germany.
England. Ugh.
Yes.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Even though in this case that's not really true because they didn't even make the final.
This is not, so this
Dad's
is
bracket has England playing, I want to say Argentina or Spain or somebody in the final and losing.
So this is my. There are some predictions in here that I tried to guess on, like for some dark horses. Obviously, the U.S. is one of those. But seeing how well we've been playing, and it's on home soil, and it's like you said, we beat. If we can beat Spain, we can beat anyone,
Mm-hmm.
right? If we beat any of those top teams, we can beat anyone. We beat Belgium, we should be able to beat Spain. We should be able to beat Germany. We should be able to beat Argentina. Like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to matter. Other than that, I tried to do everything what I genuinely thought. I know there's yours. So with me having Norway beating France, I genuinely do believe that will happen. The U.S. games is what I want to happen.
Right.
I obviously I want the U.S. to win. It would be awesome. They're on home soil. They're good enough. I believe they can win.
Right. So some of the
So
differences between our groups that I just kind of want to point out is if you look at on this side, if you look at the bottom, right, of the teams that I have coming out, there is the possibility for probably the largest rivalry game that the United States could ever play should you see Mexico upset Belgium. Because if Mexico upsets Belgium and we beat Algeria, you will see in that match the United States would actually be playing Mexico. And you want to talk about one of the most intense matches you'd ever watch as an American, it would be that one.
Correct.
Other differences that we see is, like you can see, I have Sweden coming out. A lot of the placement of teams is different based on results. I didn't go through and do the score like you did. I just clicked the teams and let it pick whatever it picked. So obviously goal differential makes a big difference, which is why I have Mexico in mine. You can see I have Colombia going a little bit further. I have Italy going a little bit further. I have Croatia going a little bit further. But I have Brazil getting knocked out kind of in the same fashion. I just don't think Brazil's going to show up and be one of those teams. I have Morocco showing some strength early on against the Netherlands. This is going to be a really great game, I think. I think the Argentina-Uruguay game is going to be a good game. I think I'm trying to look at some of the rest of them. Brazil-Germany is going to be a great game. Germany-Norway is going to be a great game. Over here, this game is also really tough for me to have predicted, but it's how it showed up. Portugal-England. Like,
Yes,
this could be wild if this actually shows up, and having Portugal knock England out, like, that would be a heartbreak. I'm pulling for the Lions. It is what it is. And I also did feel bad picking Spain.
I'm never somebody who enjoys picking the favorite. If you had asked me, like, don't go through the picks, just pick an outright winner, I don't know if I would have picked Spain, even though I was leaning towards it. But as the groups broke down, as the bracket broke down, I wound up with Spain. And a couple things that I noticed were that if you look at a France, right, and you go through and you check out what their path looks like, okay, I have France going, okay, you already have a tough group. You're going to play Sweden coming out, and then you're going to wind up against an Ecuador. Yes, they might be the best of the best. Are you going to beat all those teams and then beat a Morocco, right? That game's a coin flip. France-Morocco going to be a coin flip. Same thing kind of with like Portugal. Portugal has a lot of really hard games. Spain really didn't. United States really didn't, right? And so I made a lot of picks based on who teams had played previous in the tournament. Like Argentina's path, if they beat Uruguay, it looks pretty solid until the quarterfinals where they would have to play maybe like a Colombia or something. So some of the teams are in really good positions to have really easy runs. My overall takeaway, and then I'll give it to you for your overall one, is I think this tournament is going to give the United States an ability to put themselves in a position where they're in the top 10 teams. And we know once you get there, it's one game at a time, anything can happen. If you were just banking on the United States going, are they going to win these 7 straight games? Are going to win these 9 straight games? Whatever it is, it would be tricky to do. It would be tough to do. But if you looked at it and went, okay, the United States beats Belgium, they're on to the quarterfinals. There's 8 teams left.
Yep.
If the United States put themselves to be one of the best 8 teams in the tournament, it's one game at a time. And that's where I see the United States getting, and that's what I think is going to be so important and powerful with this tournament, is can we just put ourselves in a position to go, now you have to beat the best teams. There's no easy games after the knockout stage.
Yes. And so my is if the U.S. can finish top 8, it's a victory in my book. It would be awesome. Obviously, with my bracket, I have them winning because that is,
Because you're a homer, and we have to.
some
2000
it's on home soil. We're there. If this is a year, if you had asked me any World Cups growing up, I would have told you I would never have believed the U.S. could win it. There was nowhere in my mind did I think, even when we had Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, I didn't think we were good enough to beat the Germanys, the Brazils.
Mm-hmm.
This World Cup, I genuinely believe we have the ability to beat any of those teams.
Agreed.
So why shouldn't I have us winning? If I believe that we can beat an Argentina, a Spain, an England, a Germany, why shouldn't I have us winning?
Right.
So that's what.
No, I agree, and I think that that's the right thing. And I think when it comes to my heart, that's what I'm going to be pulling for. I'm going to love to see the United States in positions where I feel like we can be a part of every game. I think it's home soil. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think we're going to show up. And I think we're going to make it happen. The roster is going to be dropped in like the next month or so. We're going to have an idea of who those players are. And then we're going to see ourselves in some tough March friendlies. I think we have Portugal and Germany, right? In March.
Portugal and Germany, yeah.
And then we have a June send-off game. Like we have some, or maybe Germany's the send-off game.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we just booked friendlies.
And we have a couple that are to be determined because obviously there are countries who have to reschedule their friendlies because you can't play somebody.
We play Belgium and Portugal.
Yes. And then I want to say Germany was the send-off game. I would have to believe we're going to schedule an African nation just to get some kind of experience. But I also believe that now you can't schedule games against people in your group. Going forward, I think there was a couple teams that had friendly scheduled that were against teams that just got placed in their group. And so now they got to move them, but I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, it would make sense. They don't want you to.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that's what we got. An hour talking soccer. That is our predictions. We want to hear your predictions down low. Rip us apart for picking the United States. Rip me apart for picking Spain. It doesn't matter. We are here. We're rocking this crest. We got pride for it. We are excited. We are going to be giving you guys lots of coverage. The wall behind me is going to transform into a live bracket. I'm going to try to get better lights and cameras. We're excited for this. About 180 days till the World Cup kicks off. Games are going to be great. Tickets, that's a conversation for another time. But all of that is going to keep coming. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will catch you guys on the next one.